Hi, and welcome to the chaos that is Michelle Creations. Super excited. We have this mold from Into Resin, and we're going to make it today. I've been putting it on the back burner because I did not want to paint this mold. It was going to be a pain in the tuckish, and I said, you know what, that's crazy. It's going to be gorgeous when it's done, so just do it. So I don't know how much this holds, so I have made about 7.5 ounces of resin, and to this I am going to add, this is the Marabou alcohol ink, and this is rainbow. So if you want to see what it looks like, there you go. And you can see it's just extremely rainbowy. So I don't think that when you mix glitters and that sort of thing into your resin and pour it into molds that are that have all those diamonds and facets, whatever they're called. I need to look that up. When it has all of that on there, I don't think you see the glitter and stuff like that through all that. I'm not 100% you're going to see this through it, but I'm hoping that it gives it a little bit of a, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like a color shift or a color change. I hope that you get a little bit of variation in the color when you look at it from the sides. I did mix up deep pour resin for this project, and the reason that I did deep pour resin is all of these little facets, whatever, all these little designs on this, I did not want air pockets and bubbles to get caught on that. So I'm okay with letting this just set for a couple of days and debubble. I'm okay with that. I'm not putting this video out for a couple of days, so I'm just going to let it, I'm going to run it through my debubbler here. And while that is going through the debubbler, I'm going to go ahead and paint my mold. Before I put this in my debubbler, though, it's pretty noisy. You won't be able to hear me very well over it. The colors that I have chosen, and I have gone ahead and I have painted the base already, because you would never going to be able to see me paint and all that on the inside of there. My hand would have been in the way, my head would have been, something would have been in the way, and you'd have never seen it. And that's also the case for a lot of what you see in this mold. My hands have to be in there, and it's so tight that it really would have been hard for you to see. So I have gone ahead and I have painted all of the leaves. I painted the little flower down in the bottom. I have painted the strawberries. So what I have left is there's a bow right here in the middle, and then there are little blue, well, they're berries. I'm going to make them blueberries. So we're going to paint the little berries blue. There's 3 there, there's 1 there, 2 over there, and then I'm going to do the bow in purple. That way we've got a lot of different colors in there, and hopefully you'll be able to distinguish the difference between the different colors. I've gone back and forth with several different brushes while I've painted this. And the best thing that I have found is the little makeup brush. I don't do makeup. I don't know what this is. Is this like an eye brush maybe? This is the best thing that I have found. I've used paint brushes of all different textures and sizes. There are little stems on the base of that between the berries, and I did use a super fine paintbrush for that. I used this for that, and I painted it green. My trimmers aren't bad today, so I was able to paint straight lines. And what I didn't get in the lines, I cleaned up with alcohol, so it all worked out fine. And what I did on this is I worked from the bottom up, because if you've dealt with resin and molds at all, the very first thing that hits the mold is what you're going to see. So if I'd have painted green and it would have bled, dribbled down into the bottom, and I didn't clean it up, I'd have green down in the bottom, even if I painted that purple bow over the top of it. So I was really diligent and was super careful. And then wherever I did get any extra coloring, I was very, very good about getting in there and getting that cleaned up and taken out of there. So I'm going to run this through the debubbler. While that is in the debubbler, I'm going to put you on a fast forward so you don't have to listen to that. And you don't have to watch me do this, because it does take a little bit. And then we'll come back when that's ready to pour. And this is going to be super simple. We're going to pour it, and you'll be back for the demold. I don't know how much of this I'm going to have left over. I'll be able to tell you here in just a minute how much this holds. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on a fast forward, and we'll be right back. Oh, and if you haven't watched, I always put 99% alcohol on the top of my resin when I put it in the debubbler. And the reason that I do that is as those bubbles come up, they pop in the alcohol. So I think, for me at least, it works better if I put the alcohol on the top of it when I put it in the machine. All right, we're going to get to coloring the bow and those last couple of berries on the inside of the lid. And we'll wait for that to debubble and we'll be back. I am going to put my gloves on to do this, and the reason is I'm going to be folding the mold inside out in a couple of areas and able to get down inside the mold. And you never want to touch the inside of a mold, especially a handmade mold. That will ruin your mold quick. So always wear gloves if you're going to have to get on the inside of the mold for any reason. Put your hands on the inside, even for demolding. So the blue that I'm using for my berries, this is Roleo, and I am using Veronet blue. For my bow, I am using Nightshade, also by Roleo. For the flower, the center of my flower, I used Lemon Cream. For the outside of my flower, for the petals, I wanted it white because they were strawberries, strawberry flowers. I'm using ice crystals, hoping it gives it a little shimmer. For my leaves, I used Fir Buds Green. And for my strawberries, the reddest color that I had was Blush. So it looks really good. It looks nice and clear, but this is like water. So it's going to debubble very easily on its own. It's super, super thin. So I'm just making sure that all of that marabou is mixed in there really good. I'm not incorporating any more bubbles. Yes, this is one of those teeny tiny little coffee stir sticks. I have no idea why I'm using a stick that's so tiny. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I always do everything the hard way. So, you know, there you go. All right. Normally I would spray 99% alcohol in there to make sure I get absolutely no bubbles. Since I have painted that with mica powder, I don't want to do that. That's why we are using the deep pour resin. So just pour it nice and slow so that you don't incorporate any bubbles that you don't have to. And then we pray to the resin gods that we haven't incorporated any in there, and the ones that we have will work their way to the surface and pop on their own. You know what I want to do? I want to pour this one first because it's got a lip. And it's already like 1 o'clock in the morning here, so I want to have the opportunity to babysit this one for a while before I go to bed. So gosh, I hope I poured enough or made enough resin. I almost made only 6 ounces because I thought, oh, there's no way that's going to hold almost 9. I thought, no, I better make extra just in case. I see absolutely no bubbles so far. That's amazing. That's wonderful. It's exactly what we want. So this deep pour resin is 2 to 1. So like I said, I made 7.5 ounces. So we did 5 and 2 to get all the resin that we need. I think I might have just maybe I'm not gonna fill that all the way because I want to run my stick around the edge of that. I am going to go ahead and pour the rest into this. And again, pray to the heavens that I have enough, because I really don't want to mix another round of this. But I didn't want gobs of extra. And I'm just going to give it a little squish. Oh, I don't want to mix that mica powder. Maybe I'll just tap it. Make sure the bubbles are... I'm going to have enough. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to have just enough. These are handmade molds, so don't fill them all the way to the top. You don't want to dome them, or you will have a ton of cleanup to do. So you want to just, I am going to have just enough. So it looks like this mold has 7.5. It holds 7.5. I cannot believe I did something right today. I just want to run my stick around the edge, make sure that I don't have any bubbles caught underneath of there. And I want to make sure I'm not touching that mica powder. I'm being so careful to make sure that I do not touch that powder. You do not want to disturb that. Oh, I got a couple little bubbles out right there. See that? And I'm just going to go one more time because this is a flat edge. And I do not want any bubbles out. There was one right there. And you can sort of see through the mold. If I'd have got me a thicker stick, I wouldn't be fighting with this mold. There we go. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and top it off. And then it's just a waiting. This is going to be so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I think I might have got away with 7 ounces. I'm going to leave that alone. And I have about 1 ounce left. I could have got away with 6 ounces. I'll be danged. I almost did 6 ounces. Okay. And I'm going to let this sit for about 20 minutes. And then I'll take a long neck lighter, pop any bubbles that have come to the surface. And never use a torch, especially on these really good molds. And we will be back to unmold it. Usually I leave these for about 2 days to let them completely cure. Like I said, these things are almost like water. So they take a little bit longer to cure, but these, because it's so thin, the bubbles they just fall out of there. They come up so easily. It's well worth the wait to make sure that you don't mess up all of that hard work that you put into it. And you can really see the color on the marabou in here. I just don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But I will. It'll be worth it. So, all right. We will see you guys in a couple of days. Okay. This has had about 48 hours to dry, and I've had my heat mat on twice during that period just to make sure that it's good to go. Love that sound. I did put my gloves back on because I'm probably going to have to dig down inside this mold to get this one out. And I don't want to touch it with my bare hands. And if I can help it, I really don't want to spray alcohol down in there either. You just got to break that suction on the inside. Come on, baby. There we go. I heard it go. Okay. Oh, isn't that pretty? The bottom looks good. And there's our, oh, they're so cute. Now that is permanently on there because the resin cured over top of that. It's part of the resin now. So you don't have to worry about that ever coming off. Oh, that is so stinking cute. The inside is faceted, I found out is how you say that. You can see the marabou on the, especially down here on the bottom. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, and this is where There's so much, tons and tons of detail. I live for that sound. Oh, oh my goodness, it is so pretty. Wow. I see absolutely no bubbles, which is exactly why we used the deep pour. Oh, it is so pretty. And you can, I don't know if you can see the marabou sparkling through that. You can definitely see it from the bottom of, oh, let's see the lid. This is where we always get little trap bubbles. Not a one. No bubbles at all. The deep pour is a double-edged sword. You're going to get a lot better finish as far, especially if you get tricky molds where there's a lot of potential for bubbles. It's great for that, but you have to be very patient because it takes a long, long time to cure. Oh, it is so pretty. Okay, hopefully you can see all of that. Oh, it's so, so pretty. I'm going to get you guys lots of pictures. So hopefully you can see that marabou really shine through. And I appreciate you joining us. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Would you have changed the colors? I noticed in the pictures that I gave you earlier, they have these maybe as grapes, so they're purple. I did not pay attention to what their bow was, but I really like the blue, the blueberries, if you will. And that purple bow. So, but would you change the colors? Obviously, strawberries are red, so I think that's a perfect color for those. Oh, it's so pretty. I wonder what it would look like if you colored the resin instead of doing the clear. I think clear always is probably the prettiest, but maybe if you tinted it a color. Oh, it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. All right. Thank you guys again so much for joining me. I'm just going to sit here and blab about how cute it is. Have a fantastic day. I hope you all had a wonderful and safe holiday, and we will catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.